Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Today's Monday, so back on Isabelle's talk show. I'm so happy to be with you today again. And today I will be inviting and sharing some fantastic information about letting go and while crossing the desert with Nadine Lemieux. So before she starts on this journey she experienced in Morocco, I'm going to introduce my guest. So first, welcome Nadine. Thank you very much for being back, because I know you were, last time we spoke, that was before the trip and that introspection journey. And now you're coming back to let us know what happened really. So before, I just want to introduce you to my audience. So Nadine Lemieux is a mother and lives in the mountains called Calvaire in Oka, Quebec, Canada. She worked as a paralegal for 18 years in Montreal. She loves swimming, hiking and cooking, but a true passion is belly dancing. That's why in 2012, she created a school dance and produced plays. She's a belly dancer and trainer of different of high to low intensity disciplines like belly fit, aqua zumba, aqua relax, strong nation, stretching, yin yoga, oriental chair yoga, face yoga, and has been training people of all ages. She believes that anything is possible, and she helps her clients to build their confidence through the activities she offers. Therefore, she created 3 training programs: Aqua Relax, Oriental Chair Yoga, and Face Yoga. In 2020, she became a speaker and has inspired hundreds of people since then. She calls herself the creator of the rainbow of smiles, and I can tell you she's got a beautiful smile. So Nadine, thank you very much for being back. And the title is quite powerful because of your journey. While crossing the desert, you managed to let go of some of experiences from the past. So tell us a little bit about letting go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night for, I don't know who's there with us. Thank you for inviting me again. It's a pleasure to be with you, to speak with you, to see you from Ecuador. Last time we spoke, you remember I was giving my tips to not give up, and my first was taking a pause to find a bit of to transform what I needed to transform because I was kind of stuck in my business after what happened with the pandemic and everything, and I gathered strength, and I left for a month. I passed 9 days in the desert, and the desert is all about letting go. That I can that's for sure, that I can say. Why? Because it's all about freeing the mind, the body, and your spirit when you arrive. And opening ourselves to new experiences in order to transform. That's something that's what taking a pause is, and doing something completely different. I was told before I left, I studied the desert for a while, and it was funny because for 2 years I was trying to go, but because of the pandemic I didn't go. Mm-hmm. And I was asking a lot of questions to my guide over there, and seeing a lot of pictures, but you know, pictures, they're only pictures. And the only thing he could tell me was the desert the desert is not told, it is lived. Yes. So I didn't really understand what you was saying, and it wasn't really enough for me, that sentence. But I understand now. Really, I understand now, because the only thing I can say about my experience, and it's not much, about the desert, because you have to live it. It's about the sunsets, Can talk about the sunsets. Everybody saw a sunset in their life. They're amazing. Probably the most beautiful sunsets I ever saw. And it's also like living in a place, for some parts of the desert, living in a place that resembles the surface of Mars.
Yeah, totally like another planet.
That's it. Yeah. And it's such a relaxed and peaceful place. Silence is the main thing that I can come up with for the feeling. Peace, silence, that's what you're going to find there. The quietude and space is undescribable. The night sky, boundless. Most beautiful stars and sky at night I have ever seen. And the scenery otherworldly, that's for sure. Now that's about, what I can globally say, about the desert when speaking to someone like that.
Well, I can relate to that because I went to Dubai a few years ago.
Oh.
And we went in the desert and we stopped actually to see the sunset. And I've never, ever seen such a beautiful sunset, with all the dunes and I mean the sand, the different shades of orange. I was just like, oh my God, I want to come back.
And when you pass, some people, they pass one night, two. When you pass several nights, the sunsets are not only on dunes. We had one we were walking during the end of the day because of the heat, and the sunset we were walking on a dead sea. And the sunset was crazy while we were walking. And I was also told by my guides that, if you want to live the desert, you have to come for 10 days. I said, whoa, 10 days, it's a lot, So I went for 8 days, 7 nights. And it takes 3 days to really enter a desert. So if you go 1, 2, even 3 nights, it's not enough. That I can say from my experience. Because the first day, we're filled with everything we have and we are when we arrive, what we bear. And the second day, I'm going to use a word, you start to strip.
Strip off, just like,
you start to strip. Okay.
I don't want that. I don't need this. I don't need that.
No, it's like you strip yourself naked until the end. And the third day is where you let go of everything. That's what happened to me. And I think, that's what happened to another person. Well, maybe not the letting go part, but for me, I said, okay, I need to detach myself now of a lot of things. And for another person, it was an awakening. The third day, that was fast for me because a big revelation, and she was like a bumble of joy, and to what extent, I don't know what it was, but it was a good day for her. And that for me was like a mission accomplished already, because I was leading, I was guiding like a retreat, and my third day, my feet was hurting me a lot. Yes, I was walking it. I walked through it all, and I think that as soon as you decide to go, I call it my desert compostelle. As soon as you decide to go to do something like that, and you experience, you already let go.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
transformation, the process is starting.
Already in progress.
In progress, yes. And if you go to the desert, for sure you need to let go of material, because you can't bring a lot of things.
Yeah, comfort. I mean,
comfort.
Yeah.
Barbie, she can't bring her outfits and her makeups and
yeah, that's the natural look.
And more than that, you know, you it's good that we don't have a mirror, but we have ourselves, you know, now, because you don't look that great after 3-4 days. You don't look that great. You have your puffy eyes, and you know, when you have a day with sand, a windy day, your face at the end of the day or in the morning your face is always with sand all the time. So you might take 10 years older when you go there, but you come back, it's okay. So that's the first letting go tips, is just taking the decision to do something different. And it's I think everybody has their own crossing to do.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't need to go to the desert, you know. It's like you just need to find something that will bring your transformation and what you need to work. I know the desert does that. That's for sure. And while I was there, to help me let go, I created a positive mantra while I was walking that helps to counter painful thoughts.
Yeah.
Because when you walk,
yeah, you shift the thought.
Yes, that's it. And when it's the example that I can give is that after the third day, I'm not ashamed to say I didn't take care of my feet. It's a lesson. It's an experience. It's a lesson. After the third day, I was injured with blisters, several blisters, because I started my journey with sandals, without socks, and the guides, that's what they do. They walk with sandals, without socks, you know, and
but they're used to it.
They were born there.
Exactly. I mean,
and I thought I was a superwoman like that. And after the second day, I said, oh, okay, I'm going to put my socks in the afternoon. And after the third day, I said, I'm going to put my shoes. But I didn't know the third day we were walking on the sand, and the sand was soft. And it wasn't a good idea, and it created more blisters. So I needed this positive mantra. And instead of just that, oh my God, I can't believe what's happening to me. I was saying all day to myself for the rest of the desert road, I'm fortunate to be able to find a new path because my feet were my path. They were creating my path. And more than that, a path that is good for me.
True.
And
you were talking earlier about the silence of the desert, but I suppose it's a good way so you can listen to yourself. So you are surrounded by silence, but you're listening to what it's inside. And I think that's why, I mean, we talked about that. I want to do it. I really want to do it. And it's been on my bucket list for ages. And that's what I realize when I go to the Amazon, for example. I just walk, and if I'm fortunate enough to to be in a group where they are quiet, I listen to myself. And that's why I like it, because it's like an introspection journey.
Yes, but when you're injured, it's a bit difficult to listen while you walk.
Okay.
I was able to do that at the end of the day, before the sunset, or maybe yeah, after as well, because during the day it was a challenge. It was challenging for me.
Mm-hmm.
Walking every step with pain. I felt like a bit like Jesus. When you
Yeah, with a cross.
but it create I to let go of all that, what I was living through the day. At the end of the day, I create like a physical distance from the group and just go on a dune and just go through the day, and a recap of the day and strip again.
Yeah.
strip again, and also it allowed me to take away all my negative emotions, anger, or because you need to let go of that, and
Mm-hmm.
it brings something else. It's powerful doing that. Just create a physical distance, and a lot of when someone's going through a difficult time in their life, and it's because of work, it's because I don't know what, somebody's going to tell them, take a distance.
Yeah.
Take a distance. Just take a distance, and you're not gonna have to think about it as much. You're not gonna being reminded of it, and that's what everywhere people should do. And it helped a lot, and I really doing that, I really heard the desert, the silence of the desert. And I fell asleep once.
Oh, wow.
I fell asleep. Yes, I fell asleep once, and I woke up. It was going to be really dark, and I said, "Oh my God!" Yeah, I didn't have my phone, the time, and I fell asleep on a dune after the sunset, and that was a recharge. It was a recharge, and nobody came to get me. They must have been having fun at the camp.
Or they respected your time, you see? That's the good thing as well. It's just like, okay, she's gone. Maybe she wants to meditate. She wants to have some time off on her own.
I think that's what people should do in a group, respect people's time. And another person did that after a walk, right after, and find a place and install a comfort place and lie down, legs up, and okay, I'm done. And we knew it. It's like,
Yeah.
we knew it. She took her time. And I think in a group, people, they need to respect that. And that's it. That was one of the things that I liked the most, because I had time for myself.
Exactly. And I think
Alone in
that's the thing as well. When you want to let go, it's just like trying to find some time for yourself to reflect about what you want to let go. So
yes, for sure. And you need to do your own work, eh? Practice mindfulness.
mm-hmm.
Over there, that's what it brings. You have to come back to the present moment, really, the present moment, because it's everything is, you're there, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps to deal with our hurts. How can I say that? Our hurts have less control
Mm-hmm.
when you come back to mindfulness. So the desert brings that back to the present moment all the time. Okay, we're there. Your thoughts is passing, and at that point, when you decide, when you make a decision, and like my decision was to finish it by walk. When you make a decision, you can let your physical hurts, physical pain, or when you have physical pain, you don't think about your mental that much. And when you take a decision like that, I think it kind of released everything. Said, okay, no, I'm going to do it. Because one time there was this one time I said, okay, I'm taking the camel.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, I was telling them, no, I'm not gonna take the camel. It's okay. I want to do it by walk. And at that point, I said, okay, Nadine, like, I think it's time, and do it funny, take the camel and do it funny, because there was always somebody on the camel. And I said, okay, do it funny, and let's stop the caravan, and you get off, it's my turn. No, I didn't do that. I just thought of it. But it passed. It was just a thought, and it passed.
That's the thing. Sometimes, I mean, especially if your feet hurt, sometimes it's just like, oh, today I'm just going to go on the camel. But you are a determined lady, I know that. So because you set your mind on finishing that walk, you did it, and well done, because that's not easy, and obviously as well, by letting go of things can be painful, right? Painful, not your feet, but I mean inside you.
Yes, for sure. I arrived in Shigaga. I was alone going on top. Somebody was with me, but he came back. One guide came with me. He went back down. I was practically alone. There was a couple at the top, a German couple. They were so nice. They were the ones who took my pictures before I came down. And that's where I knew why I did it.
Why you were there.
Why I was there, yeah. And all that I let go while I was walking, all the pain that I went through, and it was to let go of a person, a dear person that I had in my life. And I think I wouldn't have been able to let that person go if I didn't go to the desert, didn't do that. Someone was put on my road to say, hey, you need that in your life, and you do that. And there was no sound, silence. People, people came, some people arrived at the after, and nobody spoke. Just looking at the sunset. It's a 360, over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see 360 dunes, and I realized that I needed to do that in order to transform my life, in order to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And let go of all the fear.
Mm-hmm.
The fear to transform, the fear to do something else, the fear to change. Mm-hmm. Because you change. You change after doing that.
Of course, I bet.
You change a lot. And fear is your worst enemy. I wasn't at all scared of the desert. I don't know why, but for me, it was natural to be there. I felt good. I wasn't scared to go on a dune alone. I didn't go very far, but fear is your worst enemy, and we lived it over there. One person, before we entered the desert, fear got, she couldn't let go of the fear. Fear got into her, and I said, "Oh my God, I could feel that too."
Exactly.
And a good tip is meditating. Breathe. Something powerful is just create this meditation that will help you breathe, help you just see through that fear. And that's kind of what I saw in Chicago. See through my fears.
Good. No, but that's fantastic. I mean, everybody has a different experience, as you were saying about this lady having a revelation after the third day. Because we all have a past, you know, we all have experiences and things to let go. It's like having a backpack and you're just like, no, I don't want this, I don't want that. So, and we are all different, so we react differently. But that's fantastic. And I remember, I think it's a picture of you as well, writing. So did you do journaling? You didn't write at all?
It wasn't me. It was the one who got the awakening.
Okay.
For her, the tip for her was to write. She wrote every day, and she was writing a book, and she finished her book over there. But she was her, and then the sunset was a good time to write.
Yes, right.
Her, I did one little workshop with regard of our passion, a drawing at a sunset. I didn't do anything of that. I just guided it. I'm gonna do it. I did it. I did some of the things, but I didn't write enough. And I don't think I could have. You know, I was taking care of my feet at the end of the day and just taking care of my mind. I didn't write enough.
Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong, it depends on the person. Some people will need to write to record afterwards. I mean, or even to let go, you know, just like, okay, I've had that revelation, I've had that feeling today, and just write it down, analyze it a little bit more. And yeah, depending, but and we react differently to big spaces. For example, me being on the sea, for example, when I see nothing around, I get a bit like claustrophobic, which will not
Really?
happen. Yeah, I feel like, oh my God, it's like big spaces. So I can appreciate somebody in the desert thinking, oh my God, it's just like too much. So
yes, and meditation. Meditation. If you want, I can suggest having, you know, if you want to go to the desert, having someone who can guide you for meditation, for relaxation, for a little activity, even stretching, even, you know, everything that I can do for people over there, because you need to stretch, you need to do a lot of things in order to take another day
of walking.
of
How long
walking.
did you walk per day?
3 to 5 hours per day, but you know, the heat was there.
Yes,
I didn't know it would be that hot. And the journey, it's like we didn't sleep always where we were supposed to sleep, because we took a bit of how you say that, we were late on our schedule, kind of. So because of the heat, sometimes we woke up really early in the morning to walk during the morning and lie down during the afternoon. And at the end of the day, we start walking again until at night. One night we arrived, it was dark. And they put the guides, at night they started cooking. I think it was like 8, 9 o'clock. They started cooking the fire, and every night around the fire they sing, they play music. So we have the entertainment over there, and one is cooking, one is playing music, and one goes get the camels, because at the end of the day, when they get all the luggage out of their back, they let them free. That's something funny. They let them free, and they have to go get them back.
Yeah, for the next day.
Yeah, but to put them down for the next day, to bring them closer, because they're going to go very far, and it takes hours sometimes to go get them. So they don't stop until from 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight, because we ate a bit late. They made this nice tagine,
so nice.
Sun bread, you know, and it was really good. But sometimes it was late. Our appetite was less there, but it was amazing. The bread, they kept it for the next morning for breakfast. And they work hard. And at night, I was really impressed putting up the camp at night like that, and cooking at night. And
well, they are sons of the desert, you know. So
yes.
So they know it's part of them, as you were saying. And so how did you interact with them at night? Because did they tell you stories about the desert?
Yes, they did. And most of the nights they just play music and sing and sang. The stories of the desert wasn't kind of different. Well, you know, when we arrived at the ruins, we arrived at this ancient village, where the village of Mamid was really deep in the desert before, and they had just 10 families over there. And you feel the energy when you walk through this, and you really feel the energy. And it's sad, because when you come from the desert, your home is the desert, you know. Now they were kind of obligated to be more in this, it's not a city, in a village, you know, with houses, you know, electricity, everything that goes with a village. It's amazing, because they know how to live in the desert, that they know how to live in a city. They're gonna dress like us, and then the other day you're not gonna recognize them.
Like nomads. Yeah,
that's funny. No, that's really funny. And they know how to let go over there, you know.
Well,
nothing
I suppose
nothing is bad, nothing is yes,
they live in the moment. They just
they really do.
Exactly, they don't project themselves as we've been told to, you know. When you apply for a job and people say to you, and in 5 years, where do you see yourself? I don't know. So you know, today is today.
And I don't think they care.
Exactly.
You know, here we say you have to, you're an entrepreneur, or you have to project, you have to see yourself. And yes, in some ways, but over there, when you see how they live, when you see who they are, when you feel the energy, and you get to know them, you realize that you complain for nothing.
Yes.
People complain for nothing, because one thing I can say is that before the pandemic, tourists was the desert was full of tourists. They had a lot of work during the pandemic, and before the pandemic, they were living out of nothing, you know. And during the pandemic, the desert was empty, really empty.
Well, in Morocco, they closed the borders
I went.
for a long time.
Yes, they did. And when I went, you needed to have your vaccine plus the test. So it was hard to get in, even when I went, and I postponed my journey because I was hoping they wouldn't have that restriction. And well, now you can see that they really live less than nothing. They live with less than nothing, and it's amazing to see that. Really,
Well,
how easy it could be to live like that.
Yeah. I can relate to that because when I did my tour in South America, I mean, I went for probably 4.5, 5 months on my own, and I only had my backpack, you know, just like some clothes and all that, and I was just like, I was so happy, you know, free, and okay, I didn't want to to wear that T-shirt. I would give it away, and I would buy another one, and I couldn't
Wow.
put a lot in my backpack. So and I was like, people live so freely and we don't need a lot.
No, that I can tell you. We don't need a lot. And over there, you don't even have to to carry your backpack.
Oh, lucky you.
The camels, they carry everything for you. You need just this little small thing for your water, for your little snacks, and you're not overweight. It's like a 5 stars in a desert because you don't do anything. You just walk and relax and enjoy the moment, the present moment, and it's something to live, I think.
Yes.
Everybody, you know, even if you cannot walk for a long time, because over there you have bivouac. They call it bivouac over there. Like a little village of tents, and they have showers, and they have you can just go there and walk around, take a camel, and take a 4x4, and I think everybody should really go there and see what it can bring them.
Well, that's definitely on my list. I know you're going back in December.
Yes, it's the desert call.
I bet now you've got like a connection with the desert.
Yes. Well, I'm going back, and I know what to expect a little bit more. I'm going to take care of my feet, and I can give tips to a lot of people now. And I'm doing the same retreat that I did over there because it brought me so much. At the end of the road, I just want people to be able to see their life through a different window.
Yes.
And that's what I was able to do. That probably was what the person that got the awakening was able to do after a couple of days. And she probably wrote all that. And I want to bring people and try to make them have this the same, not the same window, maybe different windows.
Yes.
You know, maybe several more. And so I'm going back for 9 days. Yes.
For 9 days, right?
Yes.
Right.
Going back for 9 days, and it's gonna be nomad, but at the end we're gonna have at Chigaga 2 nights in bivouac, in a bivouac.
Relax.
Just yes, to let to decompress and because I put a lot of pressure on myself the first for that journey that I did, and I wanna relive it differently and with other people. So you're welcome to come.
Oh, I would love to.
And I'm not the only one going back. The one is going back to as well. She made connection with guides over there too, and hopefully have a new perspective of her life and have a different other windows that can open.
Of course, we never know. And as you were saying, letting go of what we have, like, I mean, the comfort and the economical world we live in, and being able to let go as well of all the negative thoughts, and changing the mindset, letting go of experiences from the past, and just like having an epiphany, revelation, and enjoying the moment.
Let go of your fear. I'm gonna push on that, because fear. Let go of your fear, because I spoke about my project to and I'm gonna say it, all of my friends. My close friends. I wanted to have one to come with me and to live that, and fear was the main reason. The main reason. And of course, it's the last village of the desert road where we're going, or the first of the Saharan desert. That's a little bit. It brings uncertainty, and but there are people like us.
You're doing it. Exactly.
Just different people like us, and waiting for people to get to know them, and they just want to show their spectacular desert and who they are and what they can offer. So yes, and let go of the fear.
Definitely, and
sure.
Obviously the unknown, we don't know, but that's where the magic starts. That's what I always say to my clients: when you are afraid of something, that's where you have to go, because that's when you're going to find the magic. You're going to grow, because you're going to get stronger out of it.
When you're afraid of something, you have to go. I'm going to write that down.
Tip of the day. So yes, definitely.
Isabelle's tip.
And I apply it to myself. When I feel like, oh, well, I'm a bit scared and to do that, I'm just like, just do it. And then it's just like, first, I'm going over my fear. I'm proud of myself. I'm learning things about myself. I'm getting stronger. I meet new people as well. And that's only magic.
Yes. I think that having known that I needed to let go, that I was going to realize that I needed to let go of the most important person of my life, I wouldn't have gone. Because I think you're never ready to have that in your face, it's time. Because I heard it. I heard it inside, and it's time. And it's true, it's time.
But I feel like when you do a journey like that, you need to be very open. Try not to have expectations. And just like, okay, I will embrace what's coming. And you might be surprised. And that's what happened to you.
Yes, that's what I said at the beginning. That letting go is freeing your mind, your body, your soul, and opening ourselves up to new experiences. And that's something I'm telling everybody. And if you're able to do that, open yourself to new experiences, good or bad, good or bad.
But even the bad ones, you always learn something.
For sure. Yes. So it's an experience. You take it as an experience, and you learn from it, and you transform yourself. You're able to transform what you need to transform inside, or the other person. It's both ways. when you're able to transform yourself and move on, you have taken away so much weight.
Yeah, the weight off your shoulders. Yeah.
So much weight, and the goal is just to do that.
Well, thank you very much, Nadine. So the next trip will be in December. So come back and let us know in January.
Am I bringing you?
Oh, I will. I'm thinking about it, but first I need to go to France because I haven't been for ages. So if I go to Morocco before going to France, I think that's going to be guillotine.
Because I think you're going to be able to walk it. If you went to the if you did it with your backpack, you're able to walk for sure without one.
Well, we'll see anyway, but otherwise I know I've got the camel to help me, so that's okay.
Yes, and that's what people should tell themselves. Take the camel if you need it. I will. My next journey, I will. I did it. I don't have to prove anything to myself now. I will take a camel to
and you might not want to, or maybe you will feel, oh wow, that's a piece of cake now, so no worries, I'm going to walk. So that's going to be fantastic again.
With my experience, it made me realize that I didn't take care of myself. I never took care of my feet. I'm not ashamed to tell you that, you know.
Because you didn't know what to expect, and with the heat as well, it's different than when you walk in Canada or when I walk here in Ecuador. So that's a different. Once again, it's like letting go of what we know and just adapting to the place we're in.
Yes, but more than that, I didn't take care of my feet enough. Now I put cream.
Good.
Every 2 days or something like that, you know. I look and it was a good that was a positive thing for me to experience and to realize. Well, you know, next time I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna really all my realizations, I'm gonna put them down, and when you read yourself afterwards, said, oh okay. Oh,
yes.
So I'm gonna write more next time.
Well, I can relate to that because when I was traveling and I did my tour in South America, I had a blog, yeah, and I would write everything in French and in English as well. And my biggest fan was my auntie, and she would send me some messages saying, hey, where are you? We haven't heard from you. What have you been doing? We want to know. She was traveling with me, you know, through my blog. I mean, it's different when you are in the desert because that's more like an introspection journey. But that was so funny to just being able to reflect afterwards on what I wrote, my experience in it. I was just like, oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I remember how I felt about it. So
I did that at the beginning, putting stuff on my group. I think you're on my group, putting
yes.
Where I was and every day. But after the third day, no, we didn't have any network anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I liked it.
Yes, but that's good.
For 2-3 days, it was wow. Oh my God. So, okay, and it didn't really matter that I couldn't put stuff, but I think my next journey, I'm not gonna put anything. I'm just gonna do it, and then after, and just put myself aside and live it more than trying to find. Oh, there were so many pictures that I took, trying to find the right one and say, okay, we're there, and explain, and I'm not gonna do that.
But I understand. Sometimes we need to just switch the cells off and instead of listening to the phone, listening to ourselves.
Listening to the silence.
Exactly. The silence says it all, says a lot of things.
And go inside our deepest cave.
Exactly. Well, Nadine, thank you very much for sharing your experience and your tips to let go. And I wish you all the best for December, and come back in January to let us know. I will try to go, but I'm not sure, as I said to you.
I might do some more in 2023. I'll see.
That's it then. So I will probably be on the list for 2023. That's okay. And
that would be great.
My next guest next week actually will be me. I will be talking about people pleasing, and I will be interviewed by Isabelle, who's been on the talk show. And but anyway, if you've missed previous talk shows, don't worry. Check my YouTube channel, Phoenix Coaching and Training. Click on subscribe, click on the little bell so you will get the notifications after uploading the talk shows, so you won't miss any. So that's it for today, and thank you ever so much, Nadine, again. Come back and let us know in January, and I wish you all the best for that new adventure. And audience, I'll see you next week. So thank you, Nadine, and bye-bye.
Thank you.